Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Tim Bullock. I work with Union Home Mortgage, and beside me on the screen, I have.
Aric Gordon. Hello, everybody.
And
Like I just said, I'm Aric Gordon. I'm a financial advisor at the 4-8 Group in Avon. And I have a sweet spot for education. So it's a great thing to be here.
awesome. And I work at Union Home Mortgage. I've been at Union now for 29 years, almost 30 years, and have really spent my whole career focusing on first-time home buyers. So, what Eric and I thought we'd do today, get together, is talk about like what the next steps are. You bought your first home, you're getting ready to buy your first home. What are the next steps in your financial journey for the rest of your life, in essence? You spend so much money on buying your first house, either in down payment or the mortgage itself, but then you tend to forget about what's next in my life as far as retirement planning, insurance planning, things like that. So we thought we'd just go through some questions that maybe people ask us and thoughts in our mind of what we think our clients should be doing after they're done getting their first mortgage. So Eric, I'll maybe just start with you. We talk about when a consumer buys a home, they're required to have home insurance if the house burns down, right?
Hmm.
Maybe give the audience some ideas of what other types of insurance that they should be looking at immediately after they bought their first house.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it all starts with the plan, right? And part of the plan is protecting what you have, protecting the things that you care about and love the most. So especially if you have a young family, shortly after my daughter was born, my wife and I got term life insurance. I think that is definitely something that makes me sleep better at night.
Mhm.
Life insurance itself, especially the younger you are, the healthier you are, it's really inexpensive coverage to protect your family and make sure that they have the time to grieve and aren't worried about their finances if something were to happen to you or her.
Sure. So we talk about term life insurance. Maybe educate the audience a little bit. You know, I hear term, I hear whole life. There's a lot of different types of insurances. I hear mortgage life insurance. I know term insurance is the cheapest by far, and it's even much cheaper than home insurance. You're
Mhm.
spending $1,200 a year on home insurance to
Right.
insure a house that you most likely will never use.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you never use term insurance, but maybe educate the audience a little bit on the differences between term and whole life or any of these other type of life policies.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so the first thing is homeowners insurance. So that is going to protect the house. It will typically protect liability plus assets that are within it. They will ask you varying amounts. How much of it do you want to protect? How much is required by the bank? You may require PMI. So if you have, you may need additional insurance coverage on your house if you don't have the full, 20% down, stuff like that. And then after that, it goes into insurance on your life itself. So term is just that, a set term. So the policy that I got and what is typically out there and available, you can convert that to whole life. So that then creates a cash balance that is partly, an investment vehicle within it. So there are different ways that you can protect what you have, but then keep a portion of the money that you're putting into that account. So it really is kind of depending on what you're looking to get out of it, as far as which one you should get or which one you should purchase, because it is a policy or contract that you're buying into.
Gotcha. So give me a general rule of thumb, give the audience a general rule of thumb on how much can you ever buy too much term life insurance? Can you be overinsured when it comes to that?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely kind of a break-even point to your limiting your cash flow. So it should definitely depend. Like I recommend, looking at all the debt that you have, anything that you need to pay off so that you aren't worrying about finances. So there's also, the other consideration being future income that is lost.
Yeah.
So those two things are really the biggest consideration because there is a cost that you're paying monthly for that. So if you do overinsure yourself, you're then limiting your short-term returns, cash flow, money that you have for life today as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's definitely a balance and something that you should look for as far as what you need individually. that typically an insurance agent or an advisor would walk you through.
Okay. Staying on this insurance, product scenarios that we're going through here, maybe give the audience an idea of like who should purchase disability insurance, long-term care insurance. Is that just for if you're 55 and older, or when are you recommending that consumers start looking into types of policies like that?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, family history is, a portion of that conversation. And then what are you really concerned about? So anytime that I meet with somebody, typically the first one or two meetings are an exploratory call and a discovery meeting. So I have to really know about the person before I can ever give them advice, right?
Right.
So walk me through your family, walk me through, um, what's going on in your life. What do you think will happen in your life? All of those questions are considerations for what you should then buy, and when it comes to disability insurance, long-term care, any of that fun stuff. So,
Okay.
um, long-term care insurance is kind of making a comeback, I think, and it definitely can. The cost of nursing homes, cost of end-of-life care is very expensive.
Okay.
So products like that can definitely ease the burden so that, if you're trying to leave a lasting legacy or pass money to beneficiaries, all of that can help protect the other monies that you have.
Okay. Some of my clients that they immediately close on a home and immediately they're getting all these letters in the mail
Yeah.
for, protecting their mortgage
Yeah.
life insurance. I have always learned over the years, mortgage life insurance is probably not the best vehicle because it
Yeah.
just covers the mortgage balance itself. So it's decreasing what I think is called decreasing term, versus a normal term policy is a fixed dollar amount for a fixed period of time. Is
Yep.
that accurate?
Yes, yeah, and the unfortunate truth is that buying a home is public knowledge. So those insurance companies just basically see what properties have transferred, and they're just sending that mailing out to anybody that has. So yeah, I mean, the first time I bought, my house, it really did just get inundated with mailings like that. So yeah, I mean, it's, typically find somebody that like and trust
Yeah.
that can help guide you to get the right product or contract for you, for sure.
I always call my clients 7 days after closing and I remind them anything you get in the mail in the next month, you can probably just throw away.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless it has invoice, Union Home Mortgage on it,
Yeah.
right?
They make it seem very urgent. They make it seem like the world will end or that you have to do it, and that's just not the case. I mean, it's
Yeah,
scary because I've gotten so many questions on that for sure.
sure, sure. Um, any other insurance products that we're missing that we haven't talked about yet? We've got
Yeah, I
term.
mean, annuities are kind of in that realm.
Okay.
So we do offer annuities where I'm at, and they really do fit. So all of what somebody should consider when they're, looking at all other options is start with their plan, right?
Mhm.
So that can backfill all the other things that you then direct your money, direct your life. You should have a plan for it, right? And annuities can do that as well. So, there's quite a few different ones that are out there based on what you're trying to accomplish.
Yep.
Um, so typically it is for, an older crowd. If you're looking for, you can get annuities with long-term care insurance. You can get annuities that create a pension-like income stream for you. Uh,
Yeah.
so there's a lot of different versions of that. It is with an insurance company, so that it's the other consideration. So
Right.
you should be well educated on what all options are out there. But annuities are another thing, depending on where you're at in life. It's not for everybody, for sure.
Sure. Sure. Exactly. Okay.